Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. My fellow XRP YouTuber, the Bearable Bull, says XRP is so obvious at this point, it's hilarious. And that's a direct quote. I gotta tell you right at the outset of this video, I completely agree. I could not more fervently agree with him. Spot on. And so you just kind of wonder sometimes, why is it that almost nobody on the planet knows this and is paying attention to this? I could not be more thankful that I'm aware of this. Because, like, we get it. There's a reason that, you know, when people jump into crypto and learn about XRP, there's a reason that our community is so strong and just has such fortitude when it comes to enduring the SEC and bear markets and all that. There's a reason that we're here. We can see this. And so once you're presented with the information, there's just a certain percentage of the human population that once presented with this information gets it, and then they're just laser focused. I'm like that, the Bearable Bull's like that, and I'm willing to bet if you're listening to this that you're like that too. And that's the good thing about this. We're all early. So super early. And we've been through so much, but my gosh, I firmly believe it's going to be worth it. So I want to share with you exactly what he said in my response, and I have some additional thoughts on the topic. There's also this article from the Crypto Basic. XRP dominates social trends as trading volume crosses $1.7 billion across major exchanges. And then there's this, which is just great for crypto in general. It's a very good sign from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin shark and whales gobble $1.17 billion in Bitcoin in about a month. Analytics firm Sentiment. And so many of you are like me and you hold Bitcoin. You're not that excited about it. A lot more excited in XRP and some of your other coins. If you're like that, then hey, we got a lot in common. But I'm still pro Bitcoin, and I understand it leads the market. So for that reason, I am just about as interested in exciting Bitcoin price action as I am for XRP. That's why, because Bitcoin leads the market. I want it to do well because I believe firmly that XRP ultimately follows, along with everything else. So yes, you should be, and I'm trying to persuade people of this. This is why I keep saying this in recent times. You should be excited about Bitcoin price action, even if you don't hold it or care about it. You should be following it. You should be eager to learn and hear perspective on that, because that comes first. That's what matters. XRP has never run to a new all-time high without Bitcoin running first. Them's the facts, and I'm okay with that. I don't even need XRP to be number one in market cap, though I wouldn't mind that. Maybe it happens. But I don't need that to happen for this to be life-changing ultimately. I just want XRP to have a piece of the pie, and I want a bigger crypto pie. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so here is the post from the Bearable Bull. Quote, XRP is so obvious at this point, it's hilarious. End quote. And so, 100% agree. There is not even the tiniest shred of disagreement with that statement. And so I don't know exactly what he had in mind or what he was thinking about when he wrote that, but I mean, for me, it's so obvious there's a place in the world for a cryptocurrency that is just fantastic for payments, just in a general sense. And the developers can use it for all sorts of use cases. Even without smart contract functionality, there's a place, you know, on layer one anyway, there's a place for a cryptocurrency like that. And it's obviously being adopted. And it's and talk about first mover advantage, fine. Not literally first, Bitcoin was first, but XRP is one of the first cryptocurrencies ever created. Started being designed conceptually in 2011. They were coding this thing, you know, or at least or if I have my timeline slightly off, I know that they were planning for it in 2011. I guess I technically need to double check that, but it was around that. The point is, like, it was among the first cryptocurrencies ever to exist. And in terms of the speed that you would need for a cryptocurrency to do what Satoshi Nakamoto initially promised Bitcoin would do, or at least what the goal was, you know, the peer-to-peer cash system, that problem was solved when XRP launched over a decade ago. The technology already exists. It already scales. We're good. That's amazing. There's a reason that XRP has always been in the top 10 cryptos by market cap. For its entire existence. And there's only 3 coins for which that's true. That's Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP. That's it. And I hold all 3 of those. But that's it. And so I responded to the Bearable Bull and I wrote, I believe the same thing, yet almost no humans on this planet even know XRP exists. At least we're all here. And the Bearable Bull responded to me and wrote, we're so early, brother. Yes, we are. And think about it in these terms. About 4% of humans have ever held Bitcoin at any point in time, or crypto. 4%. That's the best estimate that we have available today. 4%. And most institutions also, not in crypto. For XRP, the best estimate we have is that far less than 1% of humans on the planet have ever held XRP. Almost no humans on the planet have even heard of XRP. My God, the opportunity that represents. It's astonishing. Almost nobody even knows what it is. Now, I don't think it's going to stay like that, but that's the thing about investing. Either you have exposure to an asset when it runs or you don't. But by the time everybody agrees that it was obvious and it was always going to happen, by the time everybody agrees, that means the opportunity's gone. By then, it's going to be as interesting investing in XRP as it is to invest in precious metals like gold and silver. It'll be boring. There will be a ton of money in it already. It will be what it is. It'll still have some level of volatility, but so do precious metals. And that'll be it. It'll be boring and people just accept it and that'll be life. But that's not the time we're living in. It's 2023, bitch. We're right here, and that stuff hasn't happened. There's so much damn opportunity here. That is the point, and it just blows my mind that we have this opportunity. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir like we get this, but that's why I know like a decade out, there will be people wishing that they had known about this. There will be people that wish that they were a little bit older so that they could have invested at this time. Just like I felt during the dot-com boom and bust. I was slightly too young by a few years to be in that world and be investing. I was a teenager. But I remember after I saw that happen, I was like, oh man, that's the opportunity. I wish I was there, the opportunity for life-changing wealth. I remember thinking all those things in my late teens and my early 20s. I didn't know I'd have that opportunity myself, but on steroids in the form of crypto. And so there will be people in the future, fast forward another decade and two, they'll be looking back and like, damn, I wish I was there for that moment in time for crypto, because this is a once in a species event so far as I'm concerned. You can't recreate this asset. It's genie's out of the bottle. It's not going to be recreated. It's already here. It's not going away, period. And so it's just absolutely spot on here. And it blows my mind that this is indeed the case and almost nobody knows it. We are so fortunate. And even if it takes time and through all the SEC nonsense and putting up with the toxic Bitcoin maxi trolls, it'll all be worth it ultimately. It will all be worth it in the end. And so I also shared this additional thought. I wrote on X, formerly known as Twitter, I don't know about all of you, but I'm way more confident in the long-term viability of XRP than I was upon entering the crypto space nearly 6 years ago. Now, folks, that could not possibly be more true. Now, I was optimistic back then because my aha moment in crypto, as I've said many times, was that I recognized that there are valuable business models that could not exist unless there's a decentralized crypto with an open market price that's technologically sufficient. That was my aha moment. I had it, I don't know, roughly within the first week or so of jumping into crypto, and then I bought XRP. Not that I was 100% sold on XRP, but when I had that aha moment, I was like, even if I'm wrong about XRP, the asset class isn't going away. And I said, even then I thought, I felt pretty confident that even though I had a lot to learn, this probably made a ton of sense. And the more research I did, I tried to throw every destructive idea, bad idea, I threw in the kitchen sink at the idea of XRP failing, and I couldn't find a scenario where I actually thought that XRP would fail. It just didn't make logical sense, and here we are almost 6 years later, and it's just more adopted. The fundamentals are increasing. And the price action would have filed in 2021, but for the SEC's action against Ripple, but set that aside, it still is true. So I still think it's coming, and the world will catch up. Eventually, fundamentals will sufficiently matter here. But I'm way more confident, and it's very clear that even without Ripple, XRP is just fine. It's being adopted for multiple use cases, and there's a place for payments that are fast in general in the form of cryptocurrency. Think no further than TapJets, for example. Remember they filed that amicus brief in the SEC v. Ripple case? They charter private jets. So, even if banks are closed on a weekend, it could be a Saturday. You got XRP? Oh, well, there you go. When you want to go charter a private jet, here you go. Pay an XRP. Because you can't, literally, if you didn't pre-plan that, and you're just in the world of legacy finance, you can't do that. But that represents utility. There's a place for that, and XRP's awesome for this. It's sufficiently liquid, relatively speaking, in the world. The world we live in 2023, I think it will be way more liquidity in crypto in general in the future. But still, XRP is among the most liquid in the world right now. And there's a place for this. And XRP has first mover advantage, and standards matter. Once something is a standard, it's hard to supplant something that is a standard. Humans, unless you have something that's an order of magnitudes better, it's not going away. Generally, that's generally how it works anyway. Here's a post from Irish Red Crypto. He added on that. He said, "You and me both. The price action does not change the fact that XRP is the only one with proper clarity through the courts in the US. All the family offices and small businesses will see this, and where do you think they will park their money?" Spot on. Irish Red Crypto nailing it. Because when entities, so there will be individuals like you and I, but also on an institutional level, what do you think is going to happen with all these family offices? Where do you think they're going to be steering their clients? If you want exposure to the crypto asset class, well, might you be interested in having some exposure to the only large cap crypto on the entire planet that has legal clarity in the United States? Might that be interesting to you? And I think as time passes, the answer will prove to be yes. It will be undeniable. And that still has to happen. We'll see, and I could be wrong. But I think that makes logical sense. And then there's also this. XRP dominates social trends as trading volume crosses $1.7 billion across major exchanges. And I don't really need to read the article. I just wanted to make the point that there still is exuberance here. It's just fascinating because so few people, compared to 2021, are paying attention to crypto. And so that's the problem. If you're wondering why is an XRP price higher, let's go to the most core basic reason that there possibly could be. There's not sufficient demand. That's it, right? The most simple concept out there when it comes to investing. Why isn't it higher? Well, there's not enough demand. Okay, so now ask yourself, why isn't there enough demand? Might it be because the asset class moves in tandem and not enough people are focusing on crypto? You can see it everywhere. And so, yes, within the world of crypto, XRP is getting tons of attention, but the world at large isn't paying attention to crypto. You are, I am, we're super interested. Good on us. But the world, broadly speaking, is not sufficiently. So it was still nice to see yesterday with that news that, the SEC got bitch smacked again by Judge Torres. They lost their request for the interlocutory appeal. The volume burst. And think about it, this is what's amazing. And this should inspire confidence so far as I'm concerned. Because the typical volume for XRP, when there's nothing happening in 2023, it could be anywhere from, just ballpark, I call it 700 million to close to $1 billion. Anywhere around there is pretty normal. But what happened? Well, we get this news, and the volume went from that range of, just call it roughly 700 million to $1 billion, would be pretty normal, jumped up to $1.7 billion for the 24-hour volume. And this is, again, in a world where almost nobody's paying attention to crypto in general. It still jumped that high. So I ask you, what do you think happens when people do start paying attention to crypto sufficiently again? What do you think happens when all the laser eyes and diamond hands come back? See, because in 2021, even with the SEC attacking Ripple, harming XRP holders, fun fact here, at its peak, the 24-hour volume for XRP hit nearly $4 billion. That's with XRP being artificially suppressed, $4 billion. And it would have been way higher, I believe, if the SEC hadn't attacked. Okay, as I keep saying. But still, there were way more eyeballs on it then. What do you think happens? Because the crypto market, you understand, it's not going to flutter around here in terms of price action forever. The space in general, sure as hell ain't going to zero. Which is why it's easy to be patient and just sit around here. And so that's why when the Bearable Bull said XRP is so obvious at this point, it's hilarious. Yeah, there are tons of reasons. So whether you're talking in terms of fundamentals and long-term viability, yes. And the developer activity, yes, absolutely. And even if you're just talking about in terms of the fact that XRP is moving in conjunction with broader crypto markets there, I'd say yes too. Very clearly, there is a strong correlation. And take a look at this. From the Daily Hodl, Bitcoin shark and whales gobble $1.17 billion in Bitcoin in about a month, analytics firm Santiment. Large Bitcoin holders have been snapping up the top crypto asset since the beginning of September, according to the crypto analytics firm Santiment. Santiment notes that Bitcoin sharks and whales, or entities holding between 10 to 10,000 Bitcoin, have accumulated a combined $1.17 billion since September 1st. The firm says that the accumulation pattern makes it more likely that Bitcoin will witness a return to the $30,000 price level unless those holders start dumping their Bitcoin holdings. And so, folks, no way to know for sure what happens in terms of price action in the future. And I'm not a chart guy, but can we just keep things simple? You don't need to be some sort of guru to make life-changing wealth in crypto. Just don't be an idiot, and, if you're going to make an important financial decision, maybe don't let your feels determine what you do. Just use logic, data, and reason, so there's that. But in recent months, Bitcoin has been coming down, and I know in more recent days for much of the last week, we've seen that pop to the upside, which has been fantastic. Bitcoin was over 28,000, got up to whatever it was, $28,500. But for much of the last few months, Bitcoin went down. XRP followed in kind. It correlated directionally, absolutely, very clearly did. Same time frame. But what happened during that time? Well, tale as old as time, surprise, surprise. While that's happening, people are panic selling and losing confidence and losing patience. What happens? The whales are purchasing the fear and the impatience of those individuals. Surprise, surprise. And they do play as much. So they do stuff that I'm not going to, because for me, it's just, I buy it, I hold it, I do nothing for years on end. And the whales, a lot of them anyway, they will do these, these broader plays. Not that they're trading literally from day to day. They'll do this kind of the somewhat bigger swings. I just don't want to mess with it. I don't want to introduce that level of risk because I firmly believe it's going to be worth an absolute fortune in the future. I'm not going to count on myself to time that or know when it is or isn't going to take off. I don't want to worry about that crap. I don't need that additional stress in my life. And this is a mistake that so many people make. They think that they're wizards, and it's probably going to do this, probably not, probably going to do that. And even if you're right, 9 times in a row, what happens the 10th time if you're wrong? And so for me, I'm just not going to introduce that level of risk to my life, even though I suspect that I'd be right most of the time, especially in times like this, because it's clear that the euphoria is not here, and it'll probably take a little bit for it to. But you don't know when. That's the point. I'm not going to expose myself to that risk. And since I know I'm not going to do that, that's one of the many reasons, I haven't really said it quite this way before, but that's one of the reasons I have no interest in learning chart analysis for myself. I don't want that in my life. Now, I value the perspective of chart analysis, and I respect them if they're good at it. I just don't want to do that myself. So I'm just one of the guys, and this probably makes the most sense for most people, I think. It's just, you buy and you hold. Data shows that works. That's how it works in the stock market. The people that are not active when it comes to purchasing equities, they just buy it and then they just set it and forget it. Those are the people that make the wealth over a long period of time. It's the same concept applies to crypto. That's it. A lot of people just oversimplify this stuff. And I'm not some sort of finance guru. I'm a dude on the internet named Moon Lambo who may or may not be wearing pants. You don't even know my pants situation. It doesn't matter. But the point is, you don't need to be a guru. You, and this is empowering, you as a regular individual, just like I'm a regular individual, you have the same opportunity. You have the opportunity for life-changing wealth. That's why I'm so tired. That's one of the reasons I want to start this channel too back in the day. I was just so sick. And so, obviously there's the excitement and the genuine interest, but I was also so sick of all the fake gurus out there. Is anybody just going to be a real him and be like, well, I'm not rich, but I'd like to be, and I think it's going to work. Can we talk about this and just hang out together in the space? Can we do that? There's not enough people doing that. And so I was like, well, I'm that. I'm not rich, but I think I'm going to be, and I'm doing well for myself. Don't get me wrong. I'm way up in crypto, and I think I'm going to be wealthy, quite wealthy, even if all my crypto went to zero, because I'm not counting on it for retirement. But still, I wouldn't consider myself, rich, even though I'm, certainly above average, but just based on, publicly available data. But the point is, all of us regular folks out there, even people of modest means, we can get there. That's what's so empowering about all this. And so knowing that's the case, are we really going to squander that by getting in and out of positions and stuff like that? For me, the answer is clearly no. So anyway, I just wanted to share some thoughts. Let me know what you think. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.